and they're off. So for everyone, this is Portal 2. Let me raise Fat's audio. It's a bit low.
Look up at the ceiling. Good. You will hear a buzzer. When you hear the buzzer, look down at the floor.
So here they're just doing a series of very simple inputs. Basically, the lore of the game. You are a test subject for aperture science. Blender with a great painting there on the wall. You were a test subject. You were pretty much sleeping, waiting to get called for duty. But every once in a while they wake you up, so your muscles are still doing fine. So you do a series of activities like looking up, looking down,
now please return to your bed.
Looking at art. They are doing some inputs. It's not an auto-scroller, but it's as good as an auto-scroller, you know. Then suddenly, everything goes weird. Like this guy here, metal ball dude, like knocks on your door, asks if everything's fine. Emergency evacuation. I don't know what's that about. Doesn't sound good, does it? So here, pretty much a big cutscene for the next 3 minutes, and then there's one jump, and then back to a cutscene for another 50 seconds. So we have a lot of time. How's everyone doing today? Do I need another commentary? I mean, I don't think so. Unless someone really wants to. But I did commentary yesterday. I did like half a match solo because my co-commentator was late. So
do you understand what I'm
should be
saying?
fine.
At all? Does any of this make any sense? Just tell me, just say yes.
Here you can see the runner is jumping.
Okay, what you're doing there is jumping.
Because Weekly want us to say apple. But we're not quite sure how to say apple, so we jump instead.
All reactor core safeguards are now non-functional. Please prepare for
another one of the very simple inputs we gotta do to get the cutscene going. There's very minimal time loss you can realistically get here. So, for that reason, for full game runs, we recently allowed the use of a save that puts you like right at the end of this cutscene, and you have a very minor time penalty by using this save, but it saves you 5 real-life minutes for every attempt. So I don't think anyone is too bothered by a few milliseconds of time loss. At eating protein bar, getting that extra juice for the speed coming up, and this guy is ready. So, in case anyone doesn't isn't too familiar with source engine speedruns, main form of movement is called bunny hopping. You jump, you try to jump the same tick as you land to conserve your speed, and to build up speed, you do air strafing. Pretty much just wiggling in the air. That's what it's gonna look like. The quirk with Portal 2 when it comes to the movement is that if you go past 300 speed, the game cuts your air control, so you cannot turn very well. So you gotta be aware of how fast you're going if you want to turn. The game usually doesn't give you an opportunity to go that fast and needing to do turns. Usually it's a straight line, so
We are currently experiencing
usually it's fine, you know.
due to circumstances of potentially apocalyptic significance beyond our control.
But yeah,
However,
they did the one jump I mentioned,
testing
and
these
now another
will provide instructional and
small
motivational
cutscene.
so that science can
Here you can see Fatman going for the most important trick in the game, toilet swoosh, getting the clipboard inside the toilet with a very high throw, very stylish. Didn't succeed, but now the run really starts.
Cube and button-based testing remains an important tool for science, even in a dire emergency. You have just passed through an
So this run is all about dialogues. You may have not noticed if you don't know the game, but Fatman just got a shorter dialogue. As you can see Blender waiting on the elevator. It's because he failed a dialogue skip.
If you feel liquid running down
And pretty much every elevator in the game waits for the dialogue to be done before you can transition to the next level. And because of that, you gotta be very mindful of your dialogues. If there is a possibility of skipping a dialogue, perhaps, or stuff like that, you will want to do that for the sake of speed. And also, as you can see Fat here right now, he isn't in the elevator quite yet, and that's because, as I said, the game wants the dialogue to be done when you finish the map, and it only checks for these dialogues to be done in certain parts of the elevator ride. It varies every elevator. So there's a bunch of audio cues for every dialogue to line up the moment where dialogue ends and the moment where the elevator checks for the dialogue to be done. That's why you see the runners waiting. So here they got the portal gun. Fat did. Blender is about to. He's lining up for another dialogue skip here.
If you feel that a lethal military android
he got it. There's an even faster dialogue skip that is possible, but it's extremely hard. So they're just going for the usual, as you can say, dialogue skip here. And the loading times on this game are a bit long, especially when compared to some other Source games like Half-Life and Portal 1. So, you know, part of the game, gotta learn how to deal with it. Fat's gonna put the cube through the door, just no problem like that. Have you ever heard of collision? Because I haven't. And apparently the cube hasn't either. The trick relies on how the collision works with portals, as you can see on Blender screen again. Oh, had a little bit of trouble, but still fine. When portals, like when you can notice that the cube was close to the door, and the collision around the portal is kind of weird. So the cube kind of has the ability to go through the wall, thinking it's going through the portal, but you just shove the cube through the door and the game thinks you soft lock and opens up for you. On Blender screen right now, you'll see first attempt at something called a portal stand, which is if you are between two portals and you shoot a portal, the game will try to push you off. It doesn't want you to stay there, but you can hold back and still stand. That's why portal stand, and still stand between the two portals, avoiding the push, and you're able to kind of exploit the maps a little bit with that. In case you want the push in your advantage to get more speed to do something, we call that a reportal. We'll see a few of those throughout the run. Some strats are heavily reliant on reportals. Oh, Blender missing the portal stand. Shoots the cube, grabs it before it goes too far. In Blender screen, you'll see an attempt at a button glitch. Uh, Basically, and on Fat's screen, he's just going for what we call weekly skip. So I'll explain both. For weekly skip, we do all this weird jumping and on the scenery and all because we don't want to go inside the orange portal yet. If you go inside the orange portal, it closes, and we want to be able to portal to somewhere further ahead, because otherwise we would wait for a cutscene of Wheatley talking about opening a panel, and then he takes his time, and you don't want anyone taking their time. You want it to be speedy. So here you can see Fat lining up. He places the portal in a way that Wheatley will roll through the portal, and he can shoot to a place after the panel that Wheatley would open, effectively avoiding a cutscene. And from there you can move on. And the other thing I mentioned, button glitches, you won't see many of those in the run, but essentially what they are is if you walk on the edge of a button, if you step on it and come out of it on the same tick, pretty much, the game won't realize you walked out of it, only realize that you walked onto it, so the button gets stuck down. Not many buttons allow for that, and even less buttons, it's useful to do a button glitch during a run. So maybe the attempt they did earlier on is maybe one of the few that we'll see in this run. So Fat just hopped through core. Blender is going to core right now. Basically a re-encounter with an old friend, GLaDOS. Have you ever heard of her? It was kind of big in some other Portal game. But here's another like 2-minute cutscene between like you getting to this place all the way down that Blender is heading to right now, and the end of the cutscene when you actually go to the next map. So we'll have a break here for a minute. Fat is ready to get the most important character in the game, Hoopy, right here. Just looking at it, letting Hoopy chill on the floor. There it is. Now he grabbed it. Hoopy is arguably the most well-developed character in this game. You might say, but he's only a hoop. He's only like a circle. How can he be the most well-developed character in the game? Well, you see, Volvo software, sometimes they don't do a great job, but with Hoopy, prime content here. Both players getting Hoopy here. Now this is a race. Now we have a race, guys.
Okay, look, we both said a lot of things that you're going to regret. But I think we can put our differences behind us. For science, you monster. I will say, though, that since you went to all the trouble of waking me up, you must really, really.
So now Fatman ending up the cutscene for Court, heading into Incinerator, last map of chapter 1. Map starts with a short cutscene, you see, but after about 20 seconds we will go into action, and from there next cutscene will be like 3 chapters from now or something. So here's where the run really starts. This map, Incinerator, it's heavily reliant on dialogues. So it's a mixture of speed and avoiding some triggers. Fat here is gonna do this crouching movement to avoid a dialogue trigger to grab the portal gun earlier than intended. Fat got the
I'll just move that
the
out
second
the way
best
for you.
dialogue
This
skip
place
that you can
really
get.
is a wreck.
There is a
But the
total of
important
like
thing is you're back with me.
3, 4 dialogue
And now
skips
I'm
you can
on to
get,
all your
I
little
think.
tricks. So there's nothing to stop us
It's
from
all
testing for the rest
all
of your
based on
life.
your speed
After
and
that,
that one
who
trigger that I
knows?
mentioned.
I might take up a hobby.
The very best
Reanimating the
one
dead,
is
maybe.
pretty hard to get, so it's kind of expected for runners to get the second best one if they are good runners. Won't be sure of Blender getting his dialogue skips,
Sorry
but
about the mess. I've really let the place go since you
well,
killed
that's
me.
fine.
By the way,
Fat here,
thanks for
ooh,
that.
Sarcasm self-test.
Fat here tried for a
Okay,
strat where
it's back online.
shoots on that panel on the
Getting
floor
everything else
before the
working while
game
you-
takes
Not bad.
the
I
ability
forgot how good you are
of
at
you
this.
to shoot
You
that
should pace
panel,
yourself, though. We have a
because
lot of tests
you cannot
to do.
place portals in the when the surface is shaking or moving. That's what happens there. But if you're fast enough, you can shoot the portal before that happens. Fat didn't quite execute it correctly there, so had to wait until the
This next test
animation, I
involves
guess you can say, ended.
discouragement redirection cubes. I just
So next
finished
map here,
building
laser
them before you
stairs,
had
shoot
your-
to the end, shoot
well,
below the cube,
Well
and
done.
you're done.
Here come the test results.
Was
You
there a
are
puzzle there?
horrible person.
Is there?
That's what it
I
says.
I mean, the map's
A
called
horrible
laser stairs,
person.
but did you see any
You
laser?
weren't even
I
testing
don't
for
think
that.
I did. Oh, Blender also misses the jump, so he's going for a pretty much same strat as Fat here.
Don't let that horrible person thing discourage you. It's just a data
So
point.
here, I think
If it makes
it's
you feel any
dual
better.
lasers now.
Science has
Yep.
now validated your birth mother's
Uh,
death. Congratulations.
Got
Not on the test.
dual lasers, but
Most
I
people
only
emerge
saw
from
one laser.
suspension terribly undernourished.
Valve
I want to
doesn't know
congratulate
their
you on
names too
beating
well.
the odds and somehow managing
But
to pack on
one
a
important
few
thing
years.
there is that Fatman did a laser switch glitch. What that entails is that every laser receptacle, when you take the laser out of it, it stays active for a short period of time, and
One moment.
you can abuse that to get many
You are
laser
navigating these
receptacles
test
active
chambers
at
faster than I
once
can build
with
them.
a
So
single
feel
laser.
free to slow down.
So he did that to get the
Do
dialogue
whatever
trigger
it is you
early,
do when you're not
and then
destroying this
proceeded to
facility.
go to the end of the map. Alpha here on laser over goo. Just gonna stop the platform early, do some bunny hopping. Very well done.
But for the record, you don't have to go
Blender
that slow.
getting into dual lasers, as you can see, triggers the dialogue, or I hope that he triggered the dialogue. Then he can move towards the door, do another switch glitch, and press against the door. If a door just starts opening and you're pressing against it, doesn't matter if it tries to close. The game doesn't want to crush you into the door, so it just opens up. You can exploit that in many maps. Here Fat is gonna place his camera on the bottom, and I guess that Valve didn't think this through too well. Their thought process was, if there's something on the bottom, the map is done, right? Except, not if it's a camera. Camera doesn't push the button down, but because they didn't realize that. So again, you're going for the, like, whatever you can do to activate the ending dialogue as quick as possible, and then from there you just try to make your way to the elevator in time.
Let's see what the next test is. Oh, advanced aerial faceplates. Well, have fun soaring
Now,
through the air without
Fat coming
a care in the
to
world.
a map called
I'll have
Trustling.
to go to the wing that was made entirely of glass and
Pretty simple map.
of broken glass.
No, There's
By
a
myself.
quite a bit of waiting time. He's gonna try strafe here, get to the end, avoiding like
Oh,
one fling.
sorry. I'm
And
still
here
cleaning up the test
he is
chambers,
going
so
towards
sometimes
where
there's
the
still
button
trash
is
in them.
to
Standing
readjust
around,
the ceiling portal,
smelling and being
so that the
useless.
robo that is coming
Try to
up,
avoid the garbage
that will
littering
fall
the
through the
halls.
portal, actually activates the button.
Remember
If you
before when I
don't
was
take that
talking about smelly garbage standing
if you
around
don't do
being
that,
useless?
there's a
That
chance
was a metaphor.
the
I was
the
actually
robo
talking about
will
you.
not activate the
And I'm
button,
sorry.
even though it
You didn't
looks
react
like
at
it
the
should have.
time, so I
So,
was worried
and
it
we
slipped
have
right over your
all the
head.
time in the world to
Which
do
would have
that
made this
and not
apology seem
lose any
insane.
time.
That's why I had to call you garbage a second time just now.
So might as well take that caution measure, safe measure, I guess you can say.
Did you know that people with Guilty consciences are more easily
So
startled
here
by
we
loud
can see the
noises.
first use of reportals in the run.
I'm sorry, I don't know why that went.
Here we want 3 of them in a
Just
row.
an
So
interesting
that's 1.
science fact.
Missed the second. So let's restart. 1, 2, shoot the panel. Get the third reportal straight to the end.
Every test chamber is equipped with an emancipation
This map,
coordinates exit,
unlike the
so that
others,
test subjects cannot
elevator
subject
only
themselves
arrives when the
or
dialogue
test
ends.
area. This one is
So
broken.
no
Don't
dialogue cues on
take
this one.
anything
Just
with you.
gotta wait it up.
This next test
Here,
involves emancipation
simple map,
codes.
filler intro.
Remember,
Just
I told you about
get the
them in
laser on the
last test area, but
receptacle
did
and
not have one.
we're done. Again, differently from other maps. This map doesn't wait for the dialogue for whatever reason. So it just ends like that. So Fat, coming up to chapter 3, we'll attempt what we call double dialogue skip, timing a crouch and then uncrouch in a precise manner.
You seem to have defeated its
And he got both of them.
capacity. Well done.
Ordinarily,
Just lower the ceiling.
the game would do 1 dialogue per fling, and we would need to go up and down many times until you can actually get this panel here to lower. But with the dialogue skips, only 1 dialogue, only 1 fling, and the panel lowers. Fat going for another reportal here, but missed the timing, so falls back to the backup. Also missed the backup, that's interesting. Misses again. Oh, not going too well for Fatman here. There it is.
Look at you,
Now you're
sailing
done.
through the air majestically, like an eagle, piloting a blimp.
Fatman with the F in chat, not amused with his performance, but
It's a beautiful day.
show must go on.
Yesterday I saw a
Here
deer.
coming up to
If you
Ricochet,
solve this next test, maybe I'll let you ride an elevator all the way up to the break
he will
room.
try for what we call
And I'll
panel
tell you
fling,
about the time I saw a deer
so
again.
we'll see if he gets it. Yeah, failed the panel fling but succeeded at the backup.
Pass the
Basically,
test.
you probably noticed that there was a blue panel in front of him as he hit the faceplate. The idea is to have the panel hit you up, so you go straight to the end. But if you miss, you can still hit another faceplate, block yourself with the cube, and quickly re-grab the cube. So very well done by Fat, reacting in time for that backup. Moving on to bridge intro. Here we get introduced to the concept of bridges. They work as you think they would. Just a bridge that you can send through portals. Except that it's made out of light, but we don't talk about
You're
that.
a predator, and these tests are your prey. Speaking of which,
Now
I was
here,
researching
favorite
sharks
part
for
of
an upcoming test.
Portal 2 experience.
Do you know who
Both
asked
runners
others people
facing the
were
elevator.
only trying to help them? Did you guess sharks?
Truly
Because that's
exciting.
right. The correct answer is nobody. Nobody but you is that pointlessly cruel. Good news. I figured out what to do with all the money I save recycling your one room full of air. When you
Okay,
die,
kinda
I'm going to
quick,
laminate your skeleton and pose you in the
intermission there,
That
real
way
life,
future
but
generations.
back at it. Fat is trying for what we call door skip. Basically, this door will try to close in front of you to get you into a cutscene with Wheatley, but with a well-timed bunny hop sequence. You can make through the door before it closes. And right after that, Fat is trying for a reportal and a fling to get the cube to the end without using the bridge. Both done second try, but
Oh,
still
there's a lot
faster
of
than
room here.
not going for any of the two strats.
Enough.
Fat is really not amused by his performance, but
This next test involves turrets.
still
You
doing
remember
fine.
them, right? They're the pale spherical things that are full of bullets.
Here, arriving at third
Okay,
intro,
that's you
a lot
in
of
5
quick
seconds.
portaling.
Good luck.
It's a map that looks really interesting for that reason. You're getting all the turrets down. This man doesn't want any bullets against his body. Not today. So take that safety measure. Might as well, right? Now another double loading screen. This is what we're talking about, guys. And let's keep count of how many we get in this run. So far it's 2 that I have noticed at least.
So you may be confused about the passage
Double
of time.
elevator /
The
double
point is, yesterday was your birthday.
double loading screen
I thought you'd
that
want to
creates
know.
awkward silences. So here, Fatman, as you notice, he just kind of threw the cube down. That's because the end dialogue only triggers when you drop the cube. So you can kind of just throw the cube and have it switch glitch on the receptacles, and then you have enough time to line it up later. So, ooh, Blender is having some trouble with his reportal strat. I think it's his 3rd or 4th try already.
That jumpsuit you're wearing looks
Oh,
stupid.
barely made it, but
That's not me talking.
finally
It's right here in your
finally
file.
done.
On other people it looks fine.
Here in third blocker, gonna get a boost from the 3rd shot,
Well, what does an
keeping the speed with bunny hops, and getting the cube, heading to the end.
I'm going through the list of test subjects in cryogenic storage. I managed to find 2 with your last name. A man and a woman. So that's interesting. It's a small world.
Here, Blender doing his run through 3rd intro. See what he will do with the turrets at the
I
end.
have a surprise waiting for you after this next
Yeah,
test.
still taking his time to
That
take down the
spoils
turrets.
surprise. So I'll just give you a hint.
Fat here on laser versus turret, where a laser goes against the turret. Oh my. Alright, sorry for that. Real life intermission again. But now we should be fine.
It says this next test was designed by one of Aperture's Nobel Prize winners. It doesn't say what the prize was for.
Okay, Fat
Well,
getting to pull the rug here. Interesting name for the map, because it's as if you're pulling the rug underneath the cube. Haha, very funny name.
To your surprise right now.
And very simple map too.
All these years, I'm getting choked up just thinking about it.
Yes or no on the Jerry? The commentator votes for yes. If you can hear that, let's get an exciting moment here, Fatman.
Initiating surprise in 3,
So
2.
there's a potential skip coming up here that would skip a cutscene that is about 30 seconds long, I think.
Surprise.
But we'll see if that goes for it.
Come on. If it makes you feel any better, they abandoned you at
So this
night.
map is
So I
column
really
blocker,
seriously doubt they'd even want to
where
see you.
you use no columns really, and you block absolutely nothing. But you know, map naming, just whatever. Right? Here, oh, Fat, watch out! That was pretty close. Almost missed the jump. Then got stuck on the laser. Got shut down. Very scary. But this man is ready. Will he go for the skip? He's setting up. We'll see. Position, lines up, saves. Ooh, failed the skip. Will retry. this skip is the cutscene is like, as I said, 30 seconds long or something. So you can try this several times, and there it is, third try. That probably still saved 20 seconds. So very well done. Everyone is working on setups to make this trick more consistent, but so far this is much better than what we had before.
So I guess it's
So
actually pretty funny.
it's pretty cool to see this being done in runs. So here, laser chaining, lining up some cubes, getting them on laser receptacles. There is another third cube that you were supposed to use, but with some strafing, you can get straight to the end of the map
And I came up
without
with a solution that I honestly
any
think works
need
out
for
best
a
one of
third
both
cube
of
to
us.
be used. Here, Blender is coming up to chapter 4. It's column blocker, so he might attempt this skip, we'll see.
This next test chamber.
Head here on triple laser,
Pretty good.
same idea as dual laser.
I think
Do
these
a switch
test chambers look
glitch.
even better than they
This
did
time, the first
before.
switch glitch opens the door and the second does the
You just have
dialogue,
to look at things
for
objectively
whatever
and
reason,
see what you
but
don't need anymore.
pretty much the
And
same
trim
strat as
it
dual
with
lasers
that.
in a way. Blender having some trouble here grabbing the cube. You gotta intercept the cube's trajectory. Which I think the game expects you to use
I've got
the
a surprise
light
for
bridge,
you
but
after
who
this
needs
next
that?
test. Not a fake, tragic surprise like last time. A
Here
real
at
surprise
getting to jailbreak,
with
there's a
tragic
cool skip here.
consequences. What's
If the
going
lights
on?
turn off, you
What's
can
about
do
the
some
lights?
portaling to go into this room, I guess you can say, and leave the area a little bit earlier than intended. Do this bunny hop and get into the escape sequence, I guess you can say, earlier than expected. The music that would play isn't even playing. And had
Almost at the last test.
overall okay movements throughout the section. The next few maps are pretty much all of them very movement oriented. Then there's it we can see here getting the cutscene. It's very slow elevator ride. That's what Fatman skipped in 3 attempts. Here, gonna keep going. Will he go for the cool bunny hop here around the corner? Tries for it, he gets it. That jump, even though it looks easy, there's a bunch of invisible walls there blocking our path. So it's much harder than it looks. Well done there by Fatman. So coming up, map called Turret Factory. It's a map where Wheatley would like start a cutscene and turn on the lights for you, but we have some commands that will turn on the lights for ourselves and can just skip the cutscene. Instead of doing everything in the dark, we recently allowed the use for a command that turns everything brighter. Main reason for this is that when everything is dark, you can still kind of see, but it depends on your monitor and some other like hardware related stuff. And some people could not see in this, like at all. And even though it was a small fraction of people, we decided that it was better to allow this so everyone can see. It does make it much easier if you aren't too familiar with the map geometry there, but you know, just make it everyone on the same playing field. So here, so portaling, a lot of bee hopping, simple stuff as that. Oh, Fatman, sliding off the railing there, unfortunate. And Blender just now getting to the escape cutscene, the bunny hop skip too. And Fatman wasn't ready, he didn't have any quick saves. Had to load the autosave that was quite far back. Very unfortunate. So a little bit of strafing, avoiding all the pipes, getting to the end here. Very well done. Or was it very well done? That death there was truly unfortunate. So coming up here, this is Untitled Sabotage. This map, there's a kind of it's a trick. Let's say that it's a trick called turret fly. The idea of the map is that you're gonna replace the functional turrets with the defective turrets, as this one that Dafatman just got. But there's a lot of cutscene, a lot of waiting, and if you get the defective turrets, they have a very weird interaction with one another. So by getting two of them, if Dafatman got the best RNG, they got two in a row, you can make them hover like this. And do some strafing and go all the way past the cutscene area. Not sure how much this trick saves compared to best RNG, and just going fast. Dafatman wrote something on the console, cannot read it. Hope you guys can. Oh, went for some weird jumping there. I don't think I've seen people doing that in the run, but I've seen the jump before.
Don't worry, I'm absolutely guaranteeing you 100% that it's... Okay, let's
You're just bunny hopping to the end. Oh, and Blender, just noticed, not using the command to make everything brighter. If you were paying attention, his screen was pretty much black all over. He can still see, but personally it makes it much harder. It makes it a bit confusing in some sections that you cannot see as well. But it's really personal preference, I guess, if you feel like shouldn't be using the command or something. Because, as I mentioned, the command wasn't allowed before, so maybe some runners don't like the idea of using it. I'm gonna try to shoot through the door here. This door is solid for the player, but not solid for portal shots. So you can shoot through the door to get a cycle a bit sooner than you would otherwise. This map that he just played, oh, Blender, fell in a weird place. But this map that he just played is all about cycles. Cycles start when the map starts, so it's all about your speed to catch the cycles in time. Not sure which cycle Dafatman got there, but it looked like a pretty good one. Now, here we get to the second big cutscene part of the run. There's this map here, Too Bright, pretty much a minute. And then there's no, the next map is Core. Oh man, earlier I said that Core was where you find GLaDOS, but that's Wake Up. That was my bad. The next map coming up is Core. So yeah, so there's Too Bright right now. There's Core in the next map that doesn't have much gameplay, and then the map after it, Longfall. It's another minute something of waiting. So in the meantime, I guess we can pay attention to Blender here, trying the turret fly. Ooh, yeah. As I mentioned, this skip not the most reliable. Like, it's a trick, you know. Sometimes it just does it to you. And Blender doing it on the opposite side compared to Dafatman. Gotta do an extra jump there. Ooh, he got pretty much all of the skip, but he got blocked by an invisible wall. Has to redo the jump. Yeah, now properly jumps over the invisible wall. Can continue.
Well, it was nice catching up. Let's get to
I have 3 seconds to save in Longfall. Can you elaborate, Dafatman? How do you lose 3 seconds in a cutscene?
Past president of the Being Alive Club. Seriously though, Goodbye.
Now I'm curious. Got better in G. Is that even a thing? Man. I mean, I've seen like losing a couple ticks. I've had that myself. But seconds?
You were busy back
How did
there.
that happen?
Well, I suppose we could just sit in this room and glare
As you
at
can
each other
see,
until somebody
Valve
drops
does
dead.
some interesting coding sometimes, I guess.
It's your old friend, deadly neurotoxin. If I were you, I'd take a deep breath and hold it.
So Blender here on the Neurotoxin Sabotage, as I mentioned, cycle-based
I
map.
hate you so much.
Didn't get too much of a chance to talk about it earlier.
That's funny. I don't feel corrupt.
But basically, you want to get this laser, cut down some tubes that have neurotoxin passing through. And this is the only part of the game where you can shoot portals on moving surfaces.
Are you ready to start the procedure?
Yes.
Corrupted core. Are you ready to start the procedure?
No.
You gotta time some portal shots to cut all the pipes.
Stalemate detected. Transfer procedure.
It's not too hard, just gotta pay attention to what you're doing. You know, Dafatman, another gameplay part here, has to press the stalemate button.
Think about this. You
Basically, for some reason, the announcer says it's time for a core transfer, because GLaDOS isn't making it. It's not
believe me.
it's not doing fine apparently anymore. Has to be replaced for whatever reason. So GLaDOS says, I don't want this. Weekly says, please do, and you are there to resolve the stalemate. And it's not good. Bad looking away, so it's not too graphic for the stream. Because that GLaDOS scream must not have been good. But now, coming up here, it's the most important skip in the game. McPedro glitch. Don't let anyone tell you that the name is anything else other than McPedro glitch. You jump on the elevator and you glitch. Well done, Dafatman. You saved 2 minutes. And that's it. Basically, the game kind of tries to block you from jumping on top of the elevator, but you can still do it. And if you stand towards the back, you can still trigger the trigger that makes Weekly think that you're inside of the elevator. So after the elevator goes up a little bit, you can just fall down. And it skips 2 minutes of cutscene. So it's a pretty big skip, leading up to another cutscene. As you can see, this mid-game section is a little bit boring, a lot of waiting. But other than that, a lot of action for the most part of the game. So here we're falling. There's a potato here now. I don't know how this happened. I don't know who this potato is. It sounds like GLaDOS. I'm not sure what's going on. But there's a potato now in the game. Blender doing some fun here with the toilet. Doing that on stream isn't advised, Blender, but already done. Both players on cutscenes here. This is quite exciting gameplay. Blender rolling Wheatley doesn't want to pick him up. Completely disrespecting his metal ball friend. Or is he a friend? Spoilers? Question mark? You know, Dafatman arriving at the underground section of the game, where you fall to the old Aperture Science installments. So if you think that stuff was broken before, the maps were broken, this gets even worse. So doing some portaling here. Gonna line up very long shot here. Being in a little bit of trouble, but seemed like you got it. You're shooting a kind of small surface from really far, but that saves a lot of bunny hopping and opening a gate and stuff. Saves around 15 seconds, I want to say. So it's not hard, but time saved for everyone. Here, another small skip here. Ordinarily, the game wants you to stand by the gates, wait for it to open, but you can just do a jump like that, go around some stuff, and get to the door as soon as possible. So here comes Cave Johnson. You can skip pretty much most of the map here. First, line up. Oh, that was a reload. I didn't see if he fell, but apparently he did. Or maybe it was just accidental load, I don't know. But line up the shot. It's he's doing his best here. Just line up. As he got it after a few attempts. Then do a portal stand. Then set up a reportal. Gets the reportal and jumps straight to the end. So basically you play like 20% of the map at most. And we will never know why the map is called Cave Johnson now. Now, coming up here is Repulsion intro. Here's another map where you may see one button glitch and maybe even two button glitches. So, and some fancy other tricks. The rod on this map recently got rehauled, basically. But Pat doesn't get the first button glitch. There's some additional bouncing for good luck. And shoots over the fizzler, small gap there. Saves a little bit of movement overall. Now, tries for somewhat precise bunny hop line, some crouching and uncrouching, and just bumps the edge there. Redoes it, does it fine. Just to get some additional height to make it all the way up top. Not normally what the game expects you to do, but can do it anyway. And didn't see the second button glitch too, so guess we'll stay in the dark about the button glitches. Got a man with some clout there. Backwards bunny hopping. This man completely disrespecting his opponent. Man wants none of this. Blender just arrived at the underground section. Gonna do his portaling. Batman here on bomb flings. Some weird geometry here at the start for bunny hops, but I guess I didn't talk about one of the main mechanics that get presented to you on this chapter, the blue gel. He did use the blue gel in the first map, but I guess here you can see the gel blob flying, and what the gel does is oh, what is the Blender doing? Just look. Yeah. What the blue gel does is it is bouncy. So whenever it's on a surface and you jump or hit it, you bounce up. There are more gels that will be presented to us later in the game, and we'll talk about those as they happen. You're fat. Just missing a strafe by not much. Yeah, doing a very long shot, skipping pretty much half the map here. Shooting up there. Shooting up again. He has to go, even though you might think he could have shot straight to the upper ledge. the game actually requires you to go to the lower ledge first. There, breaks the glass somehow by crouching and then crouching underneath the glass box, and that just makes the glass break. And after that, smart strafe there to make it to the end. Again, game probably wanted you to use the gel stuff, but we don't need that. Blender trying for the reportal on Cave Johnson. I think it's his third attempt now. It's kind of hard reportal, not gonna lie. Fat coming to potatoes, oh, or however you want to call it. That shot there, you might say, he just shot nowhere, but there is a placement helper that just drags your portal through a wall, places on the surface for you. Whatever the game wants to do, we won't complain. We just care about the speed. Now here, quick strafe. Oh, not quite the strafe that he was looking for. There, second try with the strafe, straight to the end. Don't ask me about why the map's called potatoes. I haven't seen any potatoes in this map. If you did, please let me know. I'd like to understand the naming of this map, but for now, just speed. Blender got one of the button glitches, tried for a cube clip, wasn't successful. Fatman, God, this is going so quick. Fatman with a seam shot, going for a quick reportal here, straight to the end. Kind of funny how this map works. There's a small gap that allows you to see just the very last surface, portal surface of the map, and with a reportal, you can get the speed required to jump that gap. Very quick map in that regard. Find GLaDOS in the map who's a potato? I don't believe you. When did GLaDOS get put in a potato? That never happened. Did you see that in the run? I didn't. Fatman here going for what we call a super reportal. By standing just a little bit, like a unit at most, inside the portal, you can, and shoot the portal away, you can get stuck. And as you are stuck, you can do multiple reportals. So adding up 200 speed per reportal. And with 8 reportals, in the short amount of time you have until the game unstucks you, you can make it straight to the end of the map. Okay, now here we got to conversion intro, presenting to us the third gel in the game, the white gel that makes every surface that it's spread on portable. But you might ask me, where's the second gel? You talk about one and now you're in the third. Well, you see, second gel is the orange gel, speed gel, but the speed gel isn't speedy enough for us, so hopefully we'll never see it on the speedrun. We have our means to get speed, we don't need some gel to do it for us. Blender here, getting to the box that I mentioned. Time a crouch and uncrouch, glass breaks. However, that one works. Now here, gonna cleverly use the white gel. Go for a reportal, straight to the top of that platform. Game wants you to do a bunch of gel spread, put the gel everywhere so you have speed to go up there, but gaming wasn't counting on reportals to be used. Now here, portal all the way up, pretty much surface looking from that far down, but not a problem. And do a couple flings, and straight to the end of the map. Heading up to 3 gels, where again, guess what? We won't use we won't use the 3 gels. Not even gonna use 2 gels. We're gonna use a singular gel. Here, fling, setting up the portal just angled so it falls in the correct place. And here, Fatman is gonna get stuck between some geometry. The game thinks he's falling, even though he's kind of stuck. He's building up speed, hits the gel to make him go up instead of down, and getting a portal all the way up on the ending section of the map. And here, gets the gel, places on this wall to set up for another stuck launch. Here, shortcut scene. Here's the setup for the second stuck launch. Lines up his angle, moves to the side a little bit, then quickly taps right and left to get stuck, get some speed, hit the gel, and go all the way up. And there it is. Pretty much whole map skipped with 2 launches. And now we are heading back to the newer installment of Aperture. While we were gone, all the way down there, Wheatley had to find something to test with. So he decided to make his own test subjects. It doesn't sound like they're doing too well. Yeah, he doesn't sound too amused by it.
Okay, colder, ice cold. You're Arctic now. You're very cold, very cold.
Basically, he made a mixture between a cube and a turret. So it's a sad creature to look at. It's not like it has 2 heads, just very unfortunate. But there. A quick throw to the cube on the button, skipping another cutscene. Fat made it look like easiest thing in the world, but it's not all that easy. You gotta make it to the door in time before the cube falls on the button, because that door gets blocked right after the button is pressed. So you gotta very carefully throw the cube to make it there in time before you get blocked by Wheatley.
Really good. Oh, here's an idea. Since making tests is so difficult, why don't you just keep solving this test?
And Wheatley isn't the best test maker, is he? He just played this chamber, and he wants you to play it again. I don't know. Wheatley doesn't do a good job at making new things, does he?
New tests. Gotta be some tests around here somewhere. Oh, here we go.
Oh. Fat tried to set up for a very small dialogue skip there, but that's why he was standing still. But he didn't get it. Very unfortunate. Blenderiste having some trouble with his portal there, or maybe not. I think he's going for a different strat than Fatman. Yeah, going for 2 re-portals, man. I haven't seen anyone doing that strat in the second run yet. Usually more of a challenge mode strat. Very well done by Blender. Now, here we get introduced to excursion funnels. The idea is that while you're inside the funnel, you have no gravity, but main glitch in this chapter is that you can exploit these funnels by waiting until you have zero velocity, crouching, and leaving the funnel. You can keep the 0 gravity state, and alternatively, instead of crouching and leaving, you can crouch and uncrouch, still keep the flying state, but this time you're standing, so you have like walking speed and the ability to jump. And by ending a map with the glitch activated, it stays activated. So you can keep this no gravity for several maps, which really allows you to skip a good chunk of the of the puzzles. It is a dangerous thing to have if you're not careful. You can fly out really far, you can get stuck on the ceiling if you jump. So you gotta be careful about what you're doing here, but Fatman, very well practiced on this. Knows how to not soft lock. And I spoke about how to get the glitch, but I didn't talk about how to cancel the glitch, because we don't want zero gravity for the rest of the game. Oh, here. Quick throw up. Oh, the door didn't open. There, second try. Yeah, to cancel the glitch, if you haven't transitioned yet, if you got the crouch fly on the same map, if you did a crouching, if you crouch and left, you can stand up. If you did the standing version, you just crouch and it cancels. Otherwise, you gotta hit a different funnel, as you can see here. Batman goes into a different funnel from the one that he got the glitch in, and there it is, back to having gravity. So here, another new glitch here. You can see Fatman just place a portal on that little platform there. You might say, but that's not even it's not even solid. And like, how can he place a portal on the grating like that? Thing is that the game tries to bump the portal like to the closest surface, and it turns out that that material can hold portals. It just the shots just go through, but if you somehow tell the game to place a portal there, it will do it. Blender going backwards here. He has some time on his dialogue here, so you don't need to go too fast. So here the map for Fatman is stop the box. Just grab the box, and not sure exactly where you're stopping the box, but you're definitely grabbing it and stopping yourself. It's a very simple map.
Maybe there's a number of ways to solve them, and you're picking all the worst ways.
Batman apparently is ahead of his PB, but he's not really believing this. So is Blender apparently. Both are ahead of their PBs, which is very interesting. Okay, Fatman here with another setup for funnel fly. So since no velocity, crouch, uncrouch, fly out, jump out of the panel, and go straight to the ending. This strat does lose time in this map, but it makes the next map easier and faster. And technically there's a chance you can lose no time in this map still, if doing this strat, like preserving the fly, but don't think anyone has done it yet. So yeah, you just place a couple portals to get to the button and grab the cube, and by go through, can do it. By placing the cube on the edge of the portal, it lines up just right to aim on the laser receptacle. And here's the main reason, pretty much, why this map is faster with crouch fly. Like, usually you would need to ride like half of that funnel and then fall down to another section of the map, but you can just go straight to the end, hit the trigger to open the panels, and you're done. I want to say that saves like 25 seconds. So it's not a hard strat to execute even. So, might as well go for it. Dafatman
Here. Exit, exit,
gotta
exit.
go for another crouch fly here.
Exit.
Difference is
I'll make an exit.
uh,
Test.
he wants to trigger the ending dialogue unless he's really fast on this map. Then in that case, he can skip the ending dialogue. We'll see what he will decide to do here.
I'll be honest,
But
after you told me to turn that
yeah,
video off,
he's gonna trigger the end dialogue here,
when poking around, you two are gonna love this big surprise.
triggered by shooting that surface after it stops moving and getting out of the funnel.
To death.
Uh,
You'll love it.
like usually, not having any dialogue is bad because the elevator ride by default is very long.
You're
But
picking
if
up
you
what
are
I'm
fast
saying,
enough
but-
to get there before, like if you're pretty fast, like you don't need to wait for the to be able to trigger the ending dialogue. Just going for it without dialogue can be faster.
He's not even trying to be subtle anymore. Or maybe he still is, in which case, well, that's kind of sad.
You know, Batman finishing up chapter 8, that last map here, and guess what you're gonna do with the funnel. Hope you guess correctly, because it's gonna fly again, and preserve it for the next 3 maps. It's really interesting how everything lines up with all these funnel flies. Like you have the correct heights to go to many places, and the finale here, you're flying through 3 of the 4 maps. Like, definitely not intended and not expected for you to be able to do so, but the geometry of the map lines up just right so you're able to do all of it. So here, jumps underneath some brush. Looks like he hit absolutely nothing there, but I think it's a monitor that would show up if he played the map the intended way. But here you can just hit that brush to be on the correct height, go through a wall that would open up, but for now it's not solid, and just keep flying. Here he's doing what we call a speed wall strafing, just pressing a direction towards the wall and looking at an angle a little bit away from it. It's the best way to get speed when you're in the air. So there, hits the panel, gets down to the catwalk.
Decided I'm not gonna kill you, okay? If you
Now hits the bottom of this catwalk. That it makes him fly to the next catwalk. I was really close to not making it there, but
I've got an idea.
made it just fine.
Yes, in your face. I got.
That's the first of the 3 finale maps. Now here, Padman is going to be very careful about his speed. As I mentioned in the very beginning of the run, if you go over 300 speed, you pretty much cannot turn anymore. And if you lose your air control in one of these turns, you're going to fly really far until you're able to make it back. So be very mindful of your speed there. And again, using a catwalk to go down. Again, the geometry lining up just right. Now here, wait for the pipe to fall down so it doesn't shove you down to death. And you're just gonna go in front of all of these turrets. It looks very easy there, but you gotta strafe considerably well to make it into the next section safe without dying to the turrets. Well done by Fat. Here's some quick portaling. Shoot to the next area, jump up, and make his way forward. He might have slow fly. As you can see, he isn't going too fast right now. In this game, depending on what you hit when you're flying, your air strafing abilities get really reduced. That's called slow fly. We are not 100% sure, like every situation that causes it, but yeah, that he got it there. Just a minor annoyance. You get rid of slow fly when you land on the surface. And again, as you might have noticed, all this weird geometry being used that lines up just right so you get to the end of the end of the game. How did I get low flight? Yeah, not quite sure. That looked fine to me, but game says otherwise. So here, last map in the game, GLaDOS is talking about some corrupted cores to cause another core transfer. But now I ask, if we need corrupted cores to cause a core transfer, how did Wheatley cause a transfer earlier in the game? Really makes you thinking, doesn't it? I hope that Valve has an explanation for that, but you know, unlikely. So here, short amount of waiting, Wheatley talking about his master plan, about how is it gonna kill you, and you have no chance.
Also, I took the liberty of watching the tapes of you killing her, and I'm
But
not going to make the same mistakes.
we have some other plans.
No portal services. 2. Start the neurotoxin immediately. 3. Bomb-proof shields for me. Leading directly onto number 4. Bombs. Throwing it. You know what? This plan is so good. I'm going to give you a sporting chance and turn off the neurotoxin. I'm joking, of course. Goodbye.
Oh man, really thought he would give us that sporting chance. So, first of all, Wheatley didn't plan out this white gel tube too well, did he? No portable surfaces, except you have a gel that makes everything a portable surface. So here, Wheatley's throwing bombs at you, and you throw the bombs back at him, but you can get the bombs flinging in a loop like that, as Fat just did. And what that does is it makes it so you don't need for more bombs to be thrown. You can hit him pretty much as soon as possible. There, as you can see. Oh, so what Dafatman did there is he kind of mistimed his bomb, and the bombs for the second phase activated anyway, even though Wheatley got hit, and that makes the bombs like glitched out. Like he keeps shooting all the way until like the end. Like he never stopped shooting, even though he should have. And he keeps his panels in the way. It's very annoying. You can finish the run like that, but Fat decided not to do it because it's a bit easier to do so. Because it does imply some time loss to deal with that, but he reloaded twice for it, so yes, he got the time loss anyway. So here, doing a couple flings, get the very last core. Put it on Wheatley.
Core corruption at 100%. Manual core replacement required.
Ah, I see.
Substitute core. Are you ready to start? Corrupted core.
Now the core transfer will happen. We're almost hitting up time here for Fatman.
Stalemate detected.
So there's this small section of the floor that you can place a portal in as the gel is being cleaned. Don't ask me why it happens, but you can just leave a portal there. And here he's gonna set up for what we call early moonshot to see if he gets it. I failed. He's gonna retry for it. But the idea is that to end the game, you gotta shoot the moon.
Please press the stalemate resolution button.
Yeah, there you got early moonshot. To end the game, you gotta shoot the moon, and before you get exploded, you have a 0.1 second time window to shoot it before you get blown away. And we found a setup that does it just right for us. Saves 15 seconds, so reloading for it, if you're confident in getting it, can be worth it.
I can pull myself in. in. I can still fix this.
I already fixed it. And
So it kind of glitches out the cutscene here, as you can see.
Hold on to me. Tighten.
Like, he kind of has his portal gun at the same time. Like the cutscene's playing. Like, it looks very weird, but still, can still make it. The game ends just fine. That's a 10508 for Fatman. So we ask Fat for post-run interview.
God, you're all right. You know, being Carolyn taught me a valuable lesson. I thought you were my greatest enemy, when all along you were my best friend. The surge of emotion that shot through me when I saved your life taught me an even more valuable lesson. Where Carolyn lives in my brain.
Carolyn, deleted.
Goodbye,
Oh.
Carolyn.
Small problem.
You know, deleting
It's,
Carolyn just now taught me
I gotta get an
valuable
invite
lesson.
for
The best
Fatman.
solution to a problem
I think I
is
can
usually the easiest one.
Mark him
And
as
I'll be honest.
done, and should in there. Now audio switched to Blender. He's playing French, so sounds weird. That's the reason.
Environ 6 minutes. Je suis quasiment sûr que c'est juste le voyant qui déconne, mais bon. Au cas où, je vais quand même devoir vous tuer. Je vous le disais un peu plus tôt. Alors, mettons que ça prenne 3 minutes, après je prends 1 minute de pause, du coup, il me reste 2 minutes pour trouver comment arrêter les incendies. Bon, bah, je dirais qu'on est bon.
Yeah, so one moment, I'm trying to get
la façon dont vous l'avez tué.
Fat to the interview here.
Pour ça, 4 précautions. Primo, bas de surface pour les portails. Deuxio, j'envoie les neurotoxines immédiatement. Troisio,
That might take me
anti-bombe pour moi. Et
a little bit.
4o, des bombes pour vous. Franchement, mon plan est tellement parfait que je vais être fair play.
not have an alternate solution.
Non, désolé. Adieu.
Niveau de neurotoxine opérationnel dans 5 minutes.
Très réaliste. En fait, c'était vous que j'imitais. Vous êtes tombé dans mon piège de plus.
Meanwhile, Blender is playing through the last map, Finale 1 here.
Alerte. Cœur corrompu à 50%. Ventilation défaillante. Neurotoxine désactivée. Explosion
Hello.
du réacteur dans 4
Hi,
minutes.
the Fat Man, 922.
Bill underscore like 3.
So, I've heard that you
Yeah, that was a PB.
PV'd on this run. Congratulations.
By 3 seconds. It should have been by 30. It should have been 104. That finale 4 was extremely important. But you know what? I shouldn't expect a PB in a race, and I got a PB in a race. So
Yeah,
I'm still
that's-
feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I think that Blender is also on a big PV pace here.
Yeah, I think so too. It's what is this, like 111, I'd say. That's like 3 minutes.
Yeah, it should be
Solid.
like that.
Suspicion d'explosion du réacteur. Ce centre s'autodétruira dans 2
Another double PB on my commentary.
Who was the other? What was the other one?
The other one was yesterday. Who ran yesterday? I commented. And my memory's not doing too hot right now.
à 100%.
It was Ender Shrooms and Gaudy.
Oh, Undership was a gob. That makes sense.
They both PB'd.
You seem to be good luck for these tournaments, I'd say.
Yeah.
Even though I kind of expected a PB to happen. I did runs yesterday, and I was really easily able to be ahead for most of the run. I just kept messing up chapter 7 too much.
Yeah. Like when you get to that state, like you're pretty sure that a PB will come sooner or later.
Yeah.
And you got a Jerry skip on this run too, so that helps a little bit.
Yeah, Jerry skipped this was wild. Just to think, like 2 or 3 days ago, we were trying to figure out setups after Dane did it in his race, and now all of a sudden we have a setup that we think is consistent enough to start doing in runs, and apparently that shows from that third try. I could actually check what the gold was if I could. Let's see.
No, that is. No, that's time for Blender. 110.27. That's a 4-minute PB for him.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We both played pretty well, I'd say.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Well, I'm only afraid that your screen doesn't quite look like Portal 2 right now, but
this is Portal 2. What do you mean? There's B-hop.
Oh yeah, you're right. There's the time there, pause screen and all. You're right.
I think this looks about right. Look, the Portal 2, the texture pack's even Portal 2.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely Portal 2 B-hopping. That looks right. Okay.
So use star commands to get this to look like this.
Yeah, some minor editing. Let's see if Blender wants to join.
Okay.
J'ai aussi découvert autre chose. L'endroit de mon cerveau où vit Caroline.
Hold on. I'm going to see if I can change the layout to the layout with splits on while I'm still in the run. Okay, I can. Let's investigate that chapter 4, shall we? So we can talk. I could talk a little bit about the run. I played pretty well for the first 2 chapters, but I think one mess up caused it to not save time. Chapter 2 it was like still -8, plus 20 in chapter 3.
Oh, heck.
But then golded by, it looks like 12 seconds in column block.
Yeah, that skip really helps. So
Yeah,
I marked Blender as done, so we lost his audio, but I'm sending him the invite.
I'm the task man, lol. Alright. But yeah. It was -21 by escape. Lost all of it in chapter 5 because series of unfortunate events. Brought it all back in chapters 8 and 9. Lost 28 seconds in finale 4. A real shame that I didn't 104, but still.
Was that all because of bad ending?
All because of what?
Of bad ending that you tried to avoid, it didn't quite do it.
For the most part, yeah. I also didn't get Moonshot first try.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, you reloaded.
I reloaded. That was like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Most of it was because of the thing. I need to work on that because that seems to happen more often now.
The bad ending, you say, or
yeah, bad ending.
I've been getting bad ending a little bit more too recently. Not sure what's up with that.
Pretty sure it's because of the first core not doing it well enough.
Yeah, I don't really know how it affects.
Hello.
Hey, Blender.
Ooh. Hey, Blender.
Hi. GG, Fatman.
GG, Blenderist.
GG.
That was a
Thank
huge PB for you, Blender.
That was a good race on both fronts. We both PB'd.
Thank you.
You by a significant amount per minute.
It was really good for me, but you have a too high level for me.
Any highlights on your own, Blender? Anything that was really good? Anything that was really bad?
I'd say the street portal intro. I did the CM route, so that's all I wanted to do.
Cool. I don't think I've seen anyone doing the CM route in conversion, at least for that part of the map.
It's because it's pretty hard, and if you miss it, you lose many times.
You did the reportal?
Yes,
on the... No,
or did you do the double reportal at the end?
Yeah, I did double reportal.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I had fun with this race. So
And you also said you did cube throw and portal carousel.
oh
Which
yeah,
is quite
I
a
tried it. The
It's
cube
quite a-
land, the cube land on the button, but didn't rest on it.
It's a
Didn't.
quite a dangerous move
Yeah,
for a tournament race, but you know what?
I had a soft lock
I'm not you,
at the
so
last race. So yeah, it's pretty dangerous.
I'm not you, so I guess I can't really say anything about it. But I don't know.
Gotta go for those frames, man. Definitely worth it in a 1 hour run.
Yeah. So thank you for everyone for the organizer. Organizer. How do we say it?
Organizing.
Organizer. I'm
Yeah.
bad at English. So
English
yes,
is hard, I agree.
yes. Everyone should play in French because the French saves tactics.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So, I think that we can wrap up this one.
Yeah. Guess that's it.
Any more?
I'm just playing Minecraft, so
Yeah.
not really.
Definitely.
Stop
definitely
playing
interesting.
Minecraft and go on Tazing Porta 2.
I think I'll stick to Minecraft.
No. What if you Taz Minecraft? That's,
I could
that's-
probably task B-hop in this. I don't know. We'll
no,
see.
that's the real strat there. But yeah, for now I guess that we're all done with this. Let's check the schedule for the rest of Speed Games real quick.
I need to race with Gold Dust. That's not going to be fun.
So we have apparently we have a match for Portal 2 starting up like right now on Speed Gaming 2. So if you want more Portal 2 action, Speed Gaming 2 is the place to go. And on Speed Gaming 3, there's a Link to the Past daily race. Want something different, can check that one out. So, wanna give the runners a follow, wanna give me a follow, wink wink.
He
Link
seems to
on
be a
chat.
good luck charm, so I'd recommend it.
So, yeah, links are there. The link for the schedule also there. One more portal, Speed Gaming 2, and that's it for right now. Thanks everyone for watching, and I head out. Yeah, it's done. Fun race.